In this video, we will be discussing which projects are classified as prime, plus, and standards in the upcoming BTO launch, and I'm also going to discuss which projects I think are great buys. As HDB announced, there will be 1 prime project, 7 plus projects, and 7 standard projects. As expected, Crawford Heights in Kallang Whampoa area, which is located between North Bridge Road and Crawford Street, is categorized as a prime project. But surprisingly, it is apparently the only prime project offered in this BTO launch. The other 2 projects in Kallang View and Towner Breeze are categorized as plus projects. The new way of grouping flats is indeed different from the old way. Instead of putting flats in groups based on which town they are in, they will be grouped based on how good their location is. This means that flats in the same town can be in different groups if they are in different places. You might ask why? What's so special about Crawford Heights? Well, according to the HDB press release, Crawford Heights is considered better because it is in a really great location. It is close to the MRT station, a river, a park, and a new sports arena. I'm guessing it is also because it will be the pilot for the white flat concept where there are fewer internal walls inside the flat. The real power of a white flat is actually if you reno it so it becomes a dual key unit, which apparently is possible as long as your renovation plan is approved by HDB. This way, you can live on one side and rent out the other side while maintaining your privacy. This is a real game changer because you could have a good amount of passive income. If we look at the restrictions, actually prime and plus are almost the same. Both have a 10-year MOP, cannot be rented out even after MOP. There's an income ceiling for future resale buyers, etc. But the notable difference will be the subsidy recovery percentage, where prime projects will have a higher subsidy recovery rate versus the plus projects. Other projects that are also categorized as plus projects in this batch are Central Trio at Ang Mo Kio, Bayshore Vista, Kembangan Wave, and Merpati Alcove at Geylang. All of these are already suspected as plus projects in my previous video. What is surprising is both Costa Riviera 1 and 2 at Pasir Ris are apparently categorized as standard projects. Why is it surprising? Well, these 2 projects are located near an MRT station, several malls, and some of the flats will have ocean views. There are also a good amount of school selections nearby. In the past, I thought as long as the project is near any MRT station, then it would be categorized as a plus project, but apparently not, which is a good thing. Because given that 8 out of 10 flats will be within 10 minutes of walking distance to a train station by 2030, if HDB solely classifies projects based on proximity to a train station, then we'll end up with too many plus projects. So it's good to know that we now have real examples where we have projects near MRT station, but they are still categorized as standard projects if they are located far away from the city center. Of the 7 standard projects, 3 will have a shorter waiting time. How short? Well, less than 3 years. The West Brickfield at Bukit Batok project will be ready in just 2 years. That's very fast for an HDB project. Then, the Fern Sales and Fernvale Oasis projects at Sengkang will take a little longer but still less than 3 years. Fernvale Sales will be ready in 2 years and 3 months, and Fernvale Oasis will be ready in 2 years and 9 months. I'm actually a bit surprised that these 3 projects are the ones that will have a shorter waiting time. Why? Because if you look at the number of units, there are many other projects in this launch that have fewer units, but somehow their construction time will still be longer than 3 years. Initially, I thought the point of having fewer units is to build faster, but apparently I was wrong. Another thing to note is that there are 3 projects that will be integrated with rental flats, Fernvale Oasis and the 2 Bayshore Vista projects. Personally, I have no problems with it, but I know some people care, so this is just an FYI. Which projects are great buys? Before we dive into it, let me throw a disclaimer that these are all just purely my personal opinions. I'm just some random person on the internet and totally unqualified to give any sort of advice, so please do your own research. Okay, let's start with the plus and prime projects lineup. If you are considering between the 3 projects at Kallang, you might be wondering whether you should apply for Kallang View or Towner Breeze, which are plus projects, or should you apply for Crawford Heights, which is a prime project. Well, it depends. If you want a conventional apartment layout, then I think Kallang View or Towner Breeze would be a better deal simply because it has a slightly smaller subsidy recovery percentage. But if you don't have a big family and are open-minded to new ideas, getting the white flat at Crawford Heights, then renovate it as a dual-key apartment could set you up for life. You could just rent out the other side while you still live on the property and maintain your privacy. Imagine the passive income. I mean, plus and prime projects, you can never rent out the whole flat even after MOP anyway, right? So might as well split the unit, stay on one side, and just rent out the other side. Personally, I would have just done that and retired early. The only watch out for these three Kallang projects is if you have young kids, the school options are very limited. I think only Towner Breeze has primary and secondary school options nearby, while Crawford Heights has none within the 2-kilometer radius because it is in the city center. Kallang View also has a very limited schooling option. Another personal favorite of mine is definitely the Central Trio at Ang Mo Kio. It is a little bit of walk from Ang Mo Kio MRT station but still doable, mature area with a lot of amenities, many school options, and an easy commute to the CBD area. It also has a park across the street and historically has high demands in case you want to sell it in the future. This may be a little bit controversial, but out of the Plus projects lineup, I'm not a big fan of the Bayshore Vista. The Bayshore estate will only be fully developed by 2030, so from now until then, there will be a lot of construction noise and dust, and amenities will be pretty limited until the area is fully developed. And remember that only a handful of units will have ocean view. Looking at the development plan, I think HDB will release other more exciting projects in this Bayshore area if you are willing to wait for a few more cycles. Okay, now let's talk about my favorites from the standard projects lineup. Out of these 7 projects, hands down, Costa Riviera 1 and 2 are very attractive. Dude, it's within walking distance to an MRT station, got several malls, some have ocean view, many school options, and the MOP is only 5 years. You can even rent out the whole flat after MOP. I mean, for East Side lovers, I think these 2 projects are a steal. Yes, Pasir Ris is like the very last MRT station and it seems far away from CBD, but according to Dooder, Pasir Ris to Raffles Place MRT station is around 35 minutes. So to me, it's not that bad considering the housing price at Pasir Ris is like half or third compared to if you buy a flat in the city center. If you don't mind switching from MRT to LRT line on your daily commute, Fernvale Sales at Sengkang is also a good option. It's marked as a shorter wait project with an estimated construction time of 2 years and 3 months. It is within walking distance to Layar LRT station and there will be a supermarket, F&B options, preschool, and senior center on the site. Furthermore, the Selitar Mall is like 2 blocks away, so that's quite convenient. Before you scoff at any project in the northeast area, let me remind you that statistically, many profitable BTO which were flipped after MOP are located in either Punggol or Sengkang area. Why? Well, the entry price tends to be lower while the demand is relatively high as the area is maturing. So, even though Fernvale Sales is not a $1 million HDB project, at least for now, but you can potentially get a handsome profit upon exit if you buy this project. Another dark horse from the standard projects lineup is the West Brickfield at Bukit Batok. Why? Well, at the moment, it doesn't have any MRT station nearby, but when this project is completed around the same time, the upcoming Tengah Park MRT station should be ready. And this project is marked as a shorter waiting time project. So if you like the west side, this is a decent option. On the other hand, out of all the standard projects lineup, I'm not a fan of Taman Jurong Skyline simply because you will need to take a bus to get to the nearest MRT station. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!